That's why these two games, both these games are big. We're going to try to call them the best we can simultaneously, but they're both division games. And that's key, because when you get a win, that means one of your divisional opponents also catches the L.
Yeah, absolutely. And out of on this side of the division, there's 8 players. You got 4 in each division right there. On this side of the conference, only 6 out of those 8 are going to advance to the playoffs. So you don't want to find yourself in that bottom 2. And the way it works is 4 people from the same division can advance. It's all about that conference.
That's right.
That out of those 8 players, it's 6 out of 8. So the 2 worst records in that entire conference are going to be the ones that don't make it.
For Chaos, you cannot go 0-3. Don't believe he has the firepower to battle back out of that. And of course, for Drini, this is a guy that, he won a belt in the challenge in this game mode.
No.
Oh, draft champions.
No,
but champions.
Different game mode.
Good point.
But he was the Denver Broncos club champion.
In salary cap. There you go.
In salary cap, so he has a lot of experience. He's part of Top Madden with, Problem, True Boy, and the rest of the gang. So this is gonna be a big game for him. But I do agree with you. Chaos, given his school schedule, his basketball schedule, the limited amount of time he's had to practice, he cannot fall in too much of a deficit because he's already an underdog in this tournament. And he's gonna need something to get himself some momentum.
So these guys are going to set their audibles. That's what's going on right now. Substitutions, all those kind of things. They don't have to do this. This is like a sportsmanship thing. You can tell your opponent, nope, I'm not doing that. You better burn some time out and see if you want to set something up.
Yeah, taking the delay of the game at the start of the game is a mutual agreement that they make. Nothing in the rules says you have to make that agreement, though. You're right, Scott.
And off to Herschel Walker. Pushes it out to the 33, and you really feel like for Drini, he needs to get off to a good start.
Yeah, this is a game that this is just must win for Drini. It's going to be real, Scott.
Of course, Echo Fox Joke is just sitting back.
Oh, watch out.
He knows every loss that Drini takes, that's one step forward for him winning the division.
It's interesting that Drini still decided to rock with that Michael Vick. He said he wanted to try him out for a game. If need be, he would, switch back to Mariota. But he's still rocking with Vick.
3rd and 5. Walker gets a block and more at the 30, 20, 10, and Drini strikes first.
And that's what Drini G.O.A.T will do to you. He's got one of the best run games there is. 3rd and 5, you're expecting pass, a little inside zone, give it to the legend Herschel Walker, let him off to the races, and that's how you get the momentum to open up the game if you're young Drini.
Up the gut, 64-yard run for Herschel.
How good of a last name does he have? G.O.A.T. It's actually named after a river in Albania.
The Drini River. They just added an I to it, and you can tell right up the gut for Walker. See the reaction from Chaos. Can't believe it, giving up the opening score. Let's jump over to W and True. This True Boy is on the move here in the opening minutes in this one. Off his back foot, got a block. T.Y. get out of bounds and gets the first down.
And Dubby told me right before he went up on stage that he switched his lineup a little bit for this game. He downgraded his wide receivers and beefed up that front 7 a little bit to try to help counteract True Boy's very powerful run game.
And there's Franco Harris, known for the immaculate reception. That was against, do you know who? It was against John Madden's Oakland Raiders.
I like you versus the Schwab. I've said it once, I'll say it again, Cole.
Yeah, how many times, we talk about problems and getting to the finals, can't get over the hump, but John Madden himself, they went to so many championship games in the AFC before he finally got that Super Bowl ring.
All the homage to the big guy, John Madden. None of us would be here if it wasn't for that legend. I don't think anyone's pioneered teaching people about the game of football more. Oh, that's big.
Of course, he got hurt. Got drafted, got hurt. Went into coaching.
And to be fair, he created this fantastic tool, this video game, Madden Football, that isn't just about fun. It teaches you a lot about the sport of football. A lot of the stuff that a lot of us here picked up about the sport, and when you really start to understand those X's and O's, it comes from playing so much of the game. You really learn to understand that strategic aspect.
I can't look at these punts anymore.
It's a really bad punt. I mean, who does he not have a punter on the roster?
I know it's double kicker.
He's double kickering up.
He does have an 11 cap Spencer Lanning on the bench, who is a punter, but for some reason he can't give up that one cap to put him in there. First and 10.
I mean, on those, when making those salary cap lineups. Here goes Dobson.
And Henry broke away from one. Able to pick up 4, 2nd and 6.
See that needed hat from Dubby right there. That's that needed gaming gear we're always talking about. Him and Mike Skimbo. And I love it. These guys are building their own brands. They're going out. They're doing work on their own.
I still need to come up with our feed it. It's got the 2 E's, but they're a cow and a pig.
I like it.
It's happening.
I like it. Feed it game.
When we get to the playoffs, we're breaking out the feed it gear.
Put the order in for the shirts.
First and 10. Henry.
Ooh. Oh!
Slippery!
Wow!
And he's off to the races. Dubby will strike first. Dabbed on him.
Look at the savagery of Dobson. Doesn't even react to the touchdown. It's a little look to True. And if you're True Boy, you do not want to fall to 0-4 in tournament play against Dubby.
I didn't see who that was who missed the tackle, but you got to wrap up there on the back end. I mean, I got to say something. That just went off the goalpost. But look at this again.
Whoops.
This right here, yeah, that was the move. It was, you got to put a little bit of that on True. So 7-0. Here, let's flip over to the other side. In a 7-0 game, Chaos has worked himself down to the red zone. Hands it off. A good tackle on the edge. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10, maybe got half a yard.
See what Chaos has down here in the red zone. We've seen him stall out. I mean, in his week 1 game against Tweed, what do you have, 5 or 6 field goals? It's completely unacceptable. You need to be able to get touchdowns.
I mean, I'm all about kicking it old school, but that's too far.
See that defensive play art? You're seeing it from Drini's point of view right now. Chaos cannot see that play art. It's man-to-man coverage.
Throws it and picked up by Paul Krause. And I was going to say, go down in the end zone, my friend. Brings it out to the 12. Oh, Chaos.
Oh, that's just good cover 1 right here. Man-to-man, the robber hanging out over the middle. The hook stone clicked on. Use a pick. And young Drini getting the momentum, and Chaos continues to struggle in the red zone. Bandana Dream, look at him. Young 18-year-old from Washington, D.C.
These guys are both 0-2. Try not to go 0-3 to start their Madden Ultimate League. It's going to make it really tough to make it to the playoffs.
Good
Walker
point.
up the middle again. Maybe finding a soft spot in that defense.
Chaos, he's in a dollar type look. This is 4 DBs. There's only 3 down linemen, 2 linebackers. When you're going up against a guy like Drini who likes to run the ball so much, you're not doing yourself any favors in a formation like that, because young Drini is on his horse, Coltrane. And he's going to go up 2 scores. The young one's putting on right now against Chaos.
Touchdown, Drini. Fixing to be 14-0. And both of those plays right up the gut. Long runs for 6.
Oh, man, and Chaos's face says it all. Poor Kent Auslander just finding himself in a deficit here. Kind of wonder, has he got Madden on his mind? Maybe college basketball season, a full school schedule. I mean, it's hard to keep up with some of these young gunners.
He was at Maryland, made his way to Compton State, and take a look at this run from the man from Georgia. That's the Heisman winner, Herschel Walker, who is probably the greatest college running back of all time, and he's taken the hurting to Chaos. So at the end of the first, 14-0, Drini with the lead, and then Dubby with a 7-0 lead over True. Here at the start of the second quarter, 14-0, Drini with the lead, Dubby with the 7-0 lead over True. And Drini's look really good, RG, especially on the ground.
Yeah, when he gets his run game going, he's as tough as anybody to beat. And if you're Chaos, you gotta force him to pass the ball. But like I said, you're just coming out in that dollar type defense. 6 DBs out on the field. It's going to be really hard to stop that run.
Start of quarter number 2 for Chaos. He has the ball at the 24. 5-minute quarters, 30-second play clock. Mariota. Nothing there, forces it in again, but a nice find to Ingram, who found some separation.
Good read. The problem I think Chaos is having on offense, too, is he can't break away. He doesn't have any breakaway speed on his roster. Jarvis Landry, Ingram. I think the only guy he's got is Marquise Goodwin, who's only an 83 overall. See him, Goodwin, Landry, and Ingram. Besides Goodwin, there's just not a lot of speed out there to get you separation.
Hand it off. Drini's gone to a lot of man-to-man defense here. He goes once again, that cover 1 robber press. They got him an interception last time, and I guess he feels like you talked about, with not a lot of speed and maybe low route running, you can cover up with this defense.
Yeah, and that's just good scouting right there by Drini to look at the rosters, see what Chaos is trying to do, and adjusting to it. Playing some man-to-man coverage in a world where
the heat again, he's got to force it into Landry. Good find.
People love to run that zone coverage, so every now and then, if you can sneak in some man-to-man on them, catch some people off guard.
In this case, he might switch in some zone.
And it's not like the halfback is great for Chaos. It's Matt Breda from the San Francisco 49ers. Madden Harvest, only 76 overall. He's not trucking anybody or doing none of that Herschel Walker stuff. He's more of a speed back that you want to dump down to get into the ball in open space. Hope he can outrun someone.
He's really spent a majority of his cap on the defensive side of the ball. Does have a few offensive linemen in there as well that he's boosted up. It's taken up a little cap. 2nd and 5 from the 31. Needs a score. Can't afford to go down 3 possessions before the half. Mariota.
Oh.
Maybe got away with one as Darius Slay was there on the coverage.
Those defenders, a guy like Slay, he'll come out of nowhere. He's dropping back in a cloud flat. You throw underneath, he breaks on the ball. Before you know it, your heart skips a beat. You don't know if he's going to pick it or not.
3rd and 5 now. And Mariota will be sacked. You might have to check my math here, but I don't think Chaos has scored an offensive touchdown yet in the league. I think he had a pick 6 against G.O.A.T, and then he's kicked about 7,000 field goals.
He's played good defense, too. It's just You need to be able to bring it on all three phases of the game, and offense definitely struggling. 4th and 13, Cole. He could either get some momentum or lose all kinds of momentum here. This is a big play for him.
Needs to get to the 26. And he get away from one. Sets his feet and throws a pick. Chris Harris Jr. And Drini will take over at the 29. And the Boo Birds are out.
Yeah, I mean, now Drini's got full momentum. He's up 2 possessions. You got this interception on 4th and 13. Chaos is back up against the ropes. Ready to see what's going on with Tubby Trueboy. They're heating up over there.
Here comes Drini with Vic rolling out. He'll take it to the 39. 14 yards on the ground, 2 carries for Vic. But that's a new set of downs out at the 39. It's a huge drive right here. Drini could almost put this thing in the fridge.
Yeah, if you're Drini, you just don't want to turn the ball over. Kill as much time as you can. Try to get in the field goal range. Make it 3 possessions. You'll be in prime position to win this game as long as you don't let anything tragic happen.
He's going to take this to the 2-minute warning. 14-0. Drini trying to turn this turnover into points. You mentioned how key this, if you could go up 3 possessions.
And I like this here. Chaos goes to a 4-3 front. You know Drini wants to run the ball. Get out of that dollar, put some more beef up front.
Checks it down. That's we've seen it before. The big fella feint. You could drop the end.
And he just, what's his catch rating? What's his speed? It's kind of glitchy over there. I mean, he's running that drag route like he means it. I haven't seen him run any other route, but nothing wrong with putting the big guy on a drag.
Why not?
The pocket.
And he'll throw it away. With 95 seconds left in the half, it'll be a 3rd and 6 for Drini. See if Chaos can punch him off the field.
Here comes Chaos back into this dollar defense. Good team.
So that'll bring up 4th down. Take a look at this again.
Sending a lot of heat at Mike Vick. Just like the game plan in real life. Make him step up in the pocket and beat you with his arm. None of that rollout stuff. That's a good 3rd down call by Chaos. Send the corner and some pressure from the outsides.
That was the left tackle, Emmett Cleary, that got beat for the sack.
Here's a real punt. Actually with some distance.
So they'll put it at the 32 in a 2-touchdown game. So let's slide over to Dubby and True. It's 10-0 right now. Trueboy with the rock. He's going to have a 2nd down from the 16 with 10 to go. 30 seconds left in the half.
And you see Dubby, he knows what he's doing here. He's talking because he's trying to get in Trueboy's head. We heard True, he's had a history of not being able to keep his emotions in check. Dubby knows that, and he's going to do all he can to try to throw Trueboy off of his game.
Boxed up on 2nd down. It's going to bring a 3rd and 14 from the 20. Nowhere to go.
Yeah, Dubby's got the mental game of Madden down pat. He's not going to psych himself out, but he will psych you out if you let him.
Got to get on the board here. Can't afford not to have this 3. He'll take off with Young.
True.
And he doesn't have a timeout here, but Dubby's going to use his.
That's interesting.
I guess he figured, hey, there's 9 seconds. He's gonna get that field goal off. You need about 6 or 7 seconds. So he saves 3 seconds. Maybe you can get a kick return.
That's a big 3 though for True.
Yep.
You need to get down there, get some points, keep it a 1-possession ball game. You play good defense. You're always liable to break that big run.
Oh, he knows he's got Devin Hester. That's part of it.
Ooh. That had to be it. That had to be good.
Got
call.
Devin Hester.
You want to give him a chance.
Got to give him a chance.
You want to give Hester a chance to return that ball and take it to the cribbo.
And I'll be surprised here if we don't see a run, unless he tries to run a deep post off a play action here on the final play of the half.
30-year-old Dubby. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Tries to take off with Vic. No, sir. So a 7-point game there at the half between W and True, and back over to Drini and Chaos. He almost threw a pick there on first down. It was in the midst of Drini. It looked like Derek Brooks.
You see on that previous play, the bottom right of the screen, Drini in another cover one man-to-man defense. He told us as soon as he saw how slow those receivers were for Chaos, he was feeling good about that matchup, and we're seeing why. You got the speed advantage. Man-to-man's not a bad option.
And although he's 0-2, he's played very well user defense.
Look at him. He leaves Levedo wide open by himself.
Trying to lean toward the marker. It's going to be a 3rd and inches. Clock on the move. 40 seconds to go in the half. Still has a timeout.
Got that safety way up in the box.
That's not the move. 4th down. I mean, maybe that was just me, but that play almost looked telegraphed. 3rd and inches.
Yeah, you know he just wants to get the first down, but now he finds himself running out of clock. 4th and 3. You don't want to snap this too early and then give Drini the ball for any time to do anything. Chaos has got himself in an awkward situation here. I don't even think he knew how to handle it. Oh,
throws it into coverage.
You better tackle him. You bet. Big tackle. Oh, he's still up.
Free, and that's how the half will end. 14-0. Drini with the lead, dominating performance over Chaos, and his body language says it all.
Yeah, Chaos is having a tough start to this Ultimate League season. Drini trying to turn his around, and W and True in a good game right there, 10-3. Be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Start of the second half, Drini with a 14-point lead over Chaos. It's been Struggleville. LA has been Struggleville thus far for Chaos.
Yeah, I mean, he arrived here later than all the competitors due to basketball obligations. He hasn't been able to play the game as much as he would like to, and unfortunately for him, that type of stuff is showing up here on the film. He's going to need to do something drastic to turn it around.
Here's the Division A standings of the Legend Conference. You see Choke and Tweez. Surprising to see Tweez up there at 2-0. And at the bottom, that's the game we got right now. Drini and Chaos. That's why it's so important for them to get off this 0-2 start.
And for Tweez, he's got to be happy at 2-0 because he got to think Drini's going to start turning it around at some point. Try to make a run at the division.
Here in Division B, Problems 2-0, True 1-1, and W is 1-1. So they're battling to see who can go 2-1 here in Division B of the Legend Conference. Start of the third quarter, 14-0 between Drini and Chaos, and on this side we have W and True. Of course, True was able to get a field goal late in the half to be able to make it a one-possession game. And that's key. Although he's going to kick the ball to W here, you can get a stop and you're right back in it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this drive right here from W. Is he going to be able to get down, get into field goal range, kill some clock, get himself some points to make this two-possession, or is True going to step up here on defense? As you see right now, from True's perspective, as you see him picking the play on defense, you're going to get to see it from his perspective right here. So any of the adjustments or play art you see, pay attention to that stuff. Get to step into his mind, see what type of adjustments he wants to make.
And Henry will go nowhere. I want to take a quick moment to give a shout out to my buddy, former Clemson Tiger and former Eagle, Brian Dawkins, getting into the Hall of Fame. One of the best safeties of all time.
Oh, Weapon X. You have to be a fan of that guy, no matter what. The way he played the game, the passion he showed. Can you feel what's about to happen on this field?
And you know they got the Walter Payton Award, which is all about, you know, the person that's not only the best player, but also the best person off the field. That's the award they have at Clemson. It's the Brian Dawkins Award, and it's for the best player, who's also the best player off the field. Of course, Deshaun Watson, several winner of that.
Clemson with that rich football history. I know that gets you a tail wag.
So 10-3 here as Dubby trying to increase this lead. But my point of all that was, Brian Dawkins was not only a great player on the field, but a great person off the field.
Yeah, probably more important to be that than, great on the field. Much respect.
So 2nd and 8.
They call guys a leader of men.
Yeah, absolutely. Vic somehow gets out of the pocket.
And True reacts to that. You get a hit on Mike Vick and all that traffic. You're hoping he'll cough the ball up. They'll be fortunate there's no fumble here. Take a look. Tries to scramble. Gets just caught up in his own blocker.
Back to live action. There's Grant on a quick throw. Asked Dubby if we could show replays. He said, I ain't got time for that.
Yep. Now you're seeing the game from Dubby's perspective as you see him pull up the play art. It's like he wants to run to the left. Base.
Hands it off to Henry. That's really the big touchdown run from Henry. Got slippery. That's really the only action we've seen. It's been pretty stingy.
And I called for the base, but that was a draw. Dubby doesn't even have base in this playbook. In that West Coast offense right now. Going up against True Boy in that New England defensive playbook.
Vic sets its feet, throws. Grant can't get a foot down.
Oh, that was close.
Grant's part of the meta when it comes to salary cap. I mean, he'll be on half of these rosters for sure, if not more.
He's just got a lot of speed. And then his cap is only 37. And True showing some emotion over there, Scott.
And that's what you get with Mike Vick. You heard W yelling, "Come on, Mike!" That's what you get. You get the speed, you get the throw power, but sometimes the accuracy goes begging.
You also get yourself in a 4th and 6 right here. This is a huge momentum play. True could punch Dubby in the mouth and get all the momentum back with a stop, or is Dub going to respond?
Caught no man's land.
Wow, what a read.
Just set back in the pocket, cool, calm, and collected, and picks up the first down. Wow.
And that was smart. You don't want to get too anxious with Mike Vick. Start scrambling, get yourself into trouble. Step back, stayed in the pocket. Dubby's always had really good pocket presence.
And now you just can't turn it over down here. You need to stay in field goal range. 3 will put you back up 2 possessions.
Yeah, and you don't want to rush it too much. Kill the clock. And like you said, make it 2 possessions, because True Boy naturally kills the clock with his offense. It's not very high powered. So you can put yourself in great shape here if you're W, if you can just take time off this clock and get points.
Vic.
Uh-oh.
Couldn't get away. I think that was Ingram.
Melvin Ingram. Charges.
Was able to wrap him up.
Thought he was going to strip it. You got to watch out for those sack fumbles in that situation. Dub fortunate that Vic held on to it. He can't take a sack here. He's got to be careful.
Might go short here, just trying to pick up some yards. And oh my. That's couldn't get his head on a swivel around to catch that one. It's going to be a 52-yarder for Prater. And it's up and it's good.
It's a big kick right there for Chris McFarland, a.k.a. Dub.Dubby. Eli Clayton, a.k.a. True Boy, down 10. He's going to have to do something on this possession if he wants to get himself all the way back in this ball game. Ooh, stick work.
Oh,
True!
He's on his horse at the 30, the 20, the 10. Gotcha.
And we weren't pulling your chain when we told you were going to see highlight plays from True Boy all season long. You give him the ball in the open field, he's going to get sticky, icky with it. Hits him with the spin move, gets on his horse. Talk about responding, that's a way to respond. Gets right back at Dubby.
So Dubby kicks the 3, and True comes back with the special teams touchdown. And now Dubby's got to answer.
Oh, that's huge in a rivalry game. Offense is struggling. You need to make plays. Whoopsie! Let me get nasty. Let me get on my horse in the open field. Give me 6 with an extra point to match, and Dubby's not feeling it. Yep.
John Dorenbos, that was number 46 that looked like he had never played football in his life.
And we talked about it, though. When you're kicking off, you got those low cap, low overall players usually on your special teams.
Yeah, 10 cap from Philly.
Poor pursuit, poor tackling. And if you want to tank those players, they might make you pay on special teams. Like you saw right there. This is a big drive here for Dub-Dot.
And Vic. Of course, I just trashed him, and he just won the Super Bowl. Guy from Philly, I just trashed him. He's a Super Bowl champ. And True Boy starting to get after it, RG.
Yeah, I'm looking over there at their body language, and True looks locked in right now. He looks like he's on a mission. He can sniff that first win in competitive play against Dub.Dubby. You know that's something that's been on his mind for a while now.
Quick throw to Grant. Makes it more third and manageable, but it's still 12 yards to go.
You're Dubby, you got to think about taking this to the fourth quarter. Little scratch on the face.
I think with the bell tolling in the background, he's going to take this one all the way to the fourth quarter. It's going to be a 3-point game, and it'll be 3rd and 12 on the other side.
Oh, this is a good ball game. This is good John Madden football we're seeing. Rivalry game, tight matchup. This is what I love to see, Scott.
So at the end of the third, not much has changed between Drini and Chaos, but Dubby and True in a battle. So here between Dubby and True, the start of the fourth quarter. And right before the break, a big 3rd and 12 is going to be coming up. You see Drini continuing to cruise along against Chaos, and the lead is 3 for Dubby over True. But here comes a big 3rd down.
See if True Boy can step up on defense. 21 years old from Woodland Hills, California. Looking for his first win against Dub.Dubby in tournament play. What's the Philadelphia native going to do? Fake snap.
So that'll make it 3rd and 7. A lot more plays in the playbook for 7 yards. Sometimes a drag will easily get you 7.
Yeah, absolutely.
Start of the fourth quarter. The lead is 3. Needs 7 for a new set of downs.
Gotta watch that in route coming from the right of the post over the middle. Good defense. There's the end.
And Hester will battle. I know he's got speed, but he powers his way to the first.
It's just a good play from Dub.Dubby. True has to go take away that post route, going deep over the middle of the field. That clears out the middle of the field for the underneath in route.
Vic steps up and finds Anderson all the way down to the 23-yard line.
Dubby steps up, waits for it, threads the needle. He's moving the rock effortlessly right now.
Completed his last 4 passes, 9 of 13 now.
It's a big drive for Dubby if he can turn this into a touchdown.
Lead is 3, trying to make it 10. Hands it off to Henry. Henry, man to beat.
Oh, Swervy!
Touchdown, Dubby!
And some emotion from the Philadelphia native. Puts on a biblical drive one time. Responds to True's kick return. This is a good ball game, Scott.
An incredible run there by Dubby. Called it biblical. Red Sea parting for the touchdown.
Getting swervy too with Henry. Good stick work in the open field. See how True responds, and Dubby doesn't give him a chance to return that kick. There it is.
Again.
Whoopsie. Finish him.
That is 2 runs that we've seen True Boy not able to match the stick work of Dubby. Cost him 6 both times.
Sometimes you get stuck going for those hit sticks, you know, those dive tackles when you really just need that conservative A-button tackle.
T.Y. Hilton will move it to the 33. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 2.
And if you're true, you want to put a drive together. The most important thing is to get down and get some points. But you don't want to kill too much clock here, being down 2 possessions in the 4th quarter. You got to have a sense of urgency.
You see Dubby get excited because he's got 15 carries for 36 yards.
And he said it. He tanked those receivers, beefed up that front 7. And you know he was prepared for this run game. Fewer people prepare better than Dubby.
There's Paul Richardson. You mentioned it. You talked about it, of him wanting to stay in the room last night and watch more film.
If Dubby's turning down free sploofs, you know he means business. Dubby's yelling at him. He's screaming, nothing's open. He's showing some emotion, trying to get into True Boy's head. True Boy doing a fantastic job so far, keeping his cool, staying composed, keeping himself in the ball game. This is an important drive. Good read.
Kirk though, T.Y. who says, "Get off of me."
T.Y. Hilton stiff on the linebackers, man. God is great. God is great.
Did win the tackle battle.
He did. 3rd and 2. Low throw. And Paul Richardson from the Seattle Seahawks, the speedster, able to pick up the 1st down.
And you're seeing that low throw all over the place. If you're at home, you want to know how to do that. You just hold the LB button when you're throwing the pass and hold down in the direction you want to throw to on the left stick. And you'll get that low arc on the pass.
Fumble the ball, man! There's nothing open on the right side. It's not open.
I like it. This is going back and forth now.
Big play on 2nd down, 2nd and 11. Another low throw, but this time it's in a triple coverage.
Because the box too tight.
Well, it's who's number 48? I can guarantee you he's a 10 cap tank player. That True Boy just tried to thread the needle to right there.
Nolan Freeze. He's a silver tight end.
60 overall.
10 cap from Seattle.
Not the type of guy you want to squeeze it in traffic to. One of the most important drives of the game so far. But these guys don't have a lot of depth on their team. They don't invest their salary in backup players. They kind of beef up the starting lineup, so when they get tired and those subs come in, it's bad. And a big sack from Dubby saying woosah.
To the party.
You ever seen Bad Boys 2? That's a fantastic scene. And I think that took him out of field goal range, Scott.
It does not have Greg the leg.
Uh-oh. This is it. Big play right here. You see Dubby going through those coaching adjustments, switching it to the balance so he doesn't jump off sides.
Every yard is key right here.
And the key
jump
is to not just for the 1st down, but not to let True get back into field goal range.
Make it a 1-possession
So
game.
going to balance, very smart right there by Dubby. Has a great Madden mind.
4th and 18. Delay.
CG, I learned my lesson. I'm not accepting that. I learned my lesson, baby. I learned my lesson.
What he's talking about is sometimes it's easier in Madden to get a 4th and 23 than it is a 4th and 7. And that's because of those routes you can run right at the sticks.
Yeah, the smart routed out route, smart routed in route. Dubby got burnt by that in the Madden challenge to Joel. Need that protect the sticks feature back in our lives.
At the 2-minute warning, 4th and 18.
Oh, he shattered him! Young!
You'll get another chance to work.
He's still alive!
Steve Young.
It's gonna be close! He got it!
Gets the 1st
I
down.
don't need too much more, man.
Wow, look at True, breaks the sack, throws it up, and then fights for the extra yardage, keeps his life alive in this game.
That was Bo Jackson downfield that had a block.
More importantly, Icky. True still got all 3 timeouts, too.
Yeah, get a score here. You could
go for the onside and still try to get a stop. Like you like to say,
true.
double dip the chip. Even though I'm not a fan of double dippers, but it's fine in this situation.
That is if you can get to 7.
Yeah, he needs to, it's only a minute 15. You need a sense of urgency, though, right now, if you're True. You got to hurry up.
If you kick the 3, you got to kick it deep.
Yeah, Dubby's yelling at him, tick, trying to get in True's head. True staying poised, though. It's a crazy sequence of downs we've seen.
3rd and 7.
Couple plays. This is big.
Under a minute to go in the game, trailing by 10.
Going to determine if it's a field goal or the drive continues. Oh, big. He's got to hurry up and get the field goal unit out.
Yeah, use the timeout, man.
Oh, no!
See, now Madden should never tell him to go for this.
Oh,
That's
no!
Madden. See, I would be mad at Madden if I was at home. I would be mad at Madden. Because why would they make him go for this?
Oh, what
4th and 11. You got to go now. I'm telling you, you got to go.
Oh, that's devastating for True Boy.
And Dubby's going to call a timeout.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Why did Dubby call?
Dubby just gave us a 101 lesson about what we should and shouldn't do, and then he calls a bum timeout.
He said he hated his defense that he was in right there, but what an insane sequence of events. True Boy was trying to kick field goal. The coach suggestions told him he should have went for it. Accidentally picked the play, but didn't want to waste the timeout to kick the field goal. Was going to have to go for it. And then Dubby gives him the timeout, lets him kick the field goal. And now True needs the onside kick.
Here's the onside. Picked up by Dubby, and he hangs on. We got a final in our other game, 27-7. Drini getting the victory.
All right,
We got 7-mile-an-hour wind, baby.
True still alive here.
We're going to put this on conservative.
Let's let Dubby call it. He's telling you. Put his ball carrier coaching adjustment on conservative. That means he's not able to truck guys with Henry right now, but he has a lesser chance of fumbling. But True is still 3 timeouts, still in this game.
Uses his first timeout. That'll make it 2nd and 9. Clock stopped with 28 seconds to go. Can Dubby move to 4-0 versus True? And 2-1 here in the division.
Regardless, this has been a great ball game from 2 great competitors.
A couple yards, that's it. This is why you bring a kicker to the party. This is why you bring a kicker to the party.
3rd and 7 now. 25 seconds to go. 1 timeout for True.
You hear Dubby, this is why you bring a kicker to the party. Some people like to tank their kickers, Scott. Dubby, on the other hand, at the 94 overall Greg Zerline, so he just needs a few more yards to get into field goal range, which will allow him to kick the field goal on 4th down, make it 2 possessions. But if you don't bring a solid kicker, you need plenty more yards to get into field goal range here.
And I think he's actually going to have the 23 overall cap, Matt Prater. That Greg the Leg's a 28, so I know he moves them in and out depending on what room he needs, and he's going to be using Matt Prater here.
Perfect.
This is going to be a 55-yarder up, and it is good.
That's why you bring a kicker to the party, Scott. Wow, what a ball
I'm not
game.
inviting any kickers to the party.
No, you gotta. I mean, Dubby's bringing a good kicker. You see Problem, he brings that Adam Vinatieri with the focus kicker. We've seen Skimbo bring Greg Zerline. These are the best players in the world, and they're invested heavily in their kickers. That's telling you something.
Now, Josh Scobie, he's a guy we can party with.
Scobie was the man.
Yeah.
We got to hang out with him in Jacksonville. He called some Madden with us. That was a good time.
Franco Harris. Speaking of miracles, that's what True is going to need, trailing by 10 with 13 seconds to go.
And remember, these guys still have another game later on in the regular season, so True Boy will have a chance to get over this Dubby hump. But right now, Dub.Dubby owns this rivalry. According to him, there isn't one.
They'll face each other in Game 8 of their 10-game schedule. So 3rd and 2 with 9 seconds to go.
You know what, though? Hats off to True Boy, though, Scott. He kept his cool this entire game. He fought the whole time, didn't get frustrated, stayed focused. And that's the type of attitude he's going to need to have if he wants to take his game to that next level in pursuit of this belt. I'm very proud of True Boy, to be honest. Though he lost this game, he's growing up right before us.
Long way to go in this season, too. And that will do it. The final between Dubby and True.
And look at that. Look at that. That's what it's all about right there, Coltrane. You call it a rivalry, but at the end of the day, when the clock hits 0, show a sign of respect, give them the good game, and you'll love to see that from the competitors.
So 23-13 between Dubby and True. Drini getting a 27-7 victory over Chaos. So another final in the book and another win for Dubby over True Boy. And he said it's not a rivalry until True gets the win. Comes up short once again.
Yeah, and I already can't wait to see that matchup later on in the season. But you got to give your hat off to Dub.Dub. He started off the Ultimate League 0-1, saw his Eagles win the Super Bowl, and ever since he's been riding that momentum because now he's got a 2-game win streak. He looks good on the sticks, and he's establishing himself as a force to be reckoned with here in the Ultimate League. One of the top personalities we have, one of the top competitors we have. Got to be happy for the guy.
Yeah, played well, and he's standing by with Adrian Lawrence.
Dubby, congratulations on your win. You're 4-0 over True now in live major events, but this was a low-scoring game, at least in the first half. Has anything changed about his game that makes him more competitive?
Not really. He just wants to run the ball. And listen, I play weekend league. I play 25 games every weekend. I play against the Freeze jerseys. I play against Bo Jackson. So I trusted my run defense. The last game I played Problem, I didn't trust that I was trying to do too much and I was getting pounded, but I trusted my weekend league defense, and it was like 20 carries for 30 yards with Franco Harris. So I'm just really proud of the way I switched my lineup to get more front sevens, secure tacklers, and it made a difference, man. I really stopped the run, and True Boy for his whole life, man, if you stop him running the ball, he's going to get too cute passing and he's not going to be effective. So that was the game plan and it worked fine. You know, I gave up a kick return. I had the wind at my back, so I kicked it to the 8-yard line right over the back of the end zone. I got to learn now, if I have that much wind in my back, I got to pooch kick it. That was a big mistake I made. But I'm very happy with the way my defense played today.
And I saw in the fourth quarter there, you had called a timeout when True Boy wasn't in the best situation. How did that all come to pass?
I mean, it was really an awkward situation, one that doesn't really come about in Madden too often. I just know it was fourth down. And it was bad for him because he kind of got stuck in between a rock and a hard place with the time situation. But looking at my defense, I was looking at my play art. I really wasn't comfortable with it. So at the time, I was looking at my play art on defense, and I kind of forgot about the awkward situation that we don't come across that often in Madden. It was different, and So I panicked, called timeout because I didn't like my defense. I regret it, but, anytime you're up 10 points in the fourth quarter, you feel good about it. And I brought the kicker. So he onside kick, which I thought was a mistake because a field goal ends the game. But, you live and you learn. It's very how we handle situations like that is very typical or comparable to the NFL, and I think we do a great job. But that was definitely a blunder on my half, so I'll try to tighten that up a little bit.
Well, thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you.
To you, Dave Enrico.
Thank you,